Hey everybody, John Curry. Just want to provide a quick update for your information regarding the embassy situation in Afghanistan. Some of you know, for those of you who don't know, the work that I do here in Iraq is very similar to, we actually have uh, people in my own organization who do the same thing in Afghanistan, and the job is to provide security, to move people around, and to get people out when required. So that's how I know. That's how I know what I know, and nothing unclassed, nothing, or everything's unclassed. Nothing's a big secret or anything here. I've just the news that I've seen so far coming out of Afghanistan is pretty inaccurate. It seems to be old. It seems to be very incomplete, and they're dancing around a lot of really larger issues that I think ought to be discussed. So I'm going to provide a very brief overview of what's happening, and what my some of it will be my opinion, but I'll let you know before I give my opinion. AMCITs, American citizens, um, should be out of there by now. I know a lot already are. A couple of our aircraft will actually, I know, have are already loaded up, and as far as I know, I don't have my other cell phone here with me, but uh, as far as I know, everything has gone to plan, and they're getting out. So I think American American citizens, personnel in the embassy, um, are good to go, taken care of, or very soon will be taken care of. So that's great. Uh, for those of you who are surprised by this, I think it's important to note I was in Afghanistan as a Marine in 2004 as we were setting up the Karzai government. And even then, we realized that there was going to be a Saigon moment. Anybody who was honest with themselves knew there was going to be a Saigon moment, because nation building is just something that really doesn't work well, especially when the people don't particularly want to be nation built. So I've heard some commentary on the few news outlets I've looked at today, where we've got generals and politicians and people in very high places who do know, and they're acting as if this was a surprise, and they're acting as if this was something that really hadn't been considered as a good possibility. Anybody, and I'm just telling you a fact. Anyone who is saying now that this was a surprise is either colossally stupid or they are lying. And I'll leave that up to you to decide which. But there's not a lot of middle ground there. Lance Corporal Schmuckatelli saw it coming back in the day. You know, we could all tell. And I was flying around you know, in an aircraft, but I could still look down on the ground and see how things were happening, because of the way the country was run, because of how corrupt it was. And we knew back in 2004 how corrupt the Karzai government was going to be. We knew how corrupt the Afghan National Army was. We knew that they were not taking to the training and being particularly, they weren't particularly interested in being in self-determination. They were more interested in settling clannish scores, and enriching themselves through corruption. So today, the happenings of today, and evacuating the embassy, and a very embarrassing moment on the global stage for the United States should not be a surprise. Now, there are some geopolitical implications that are not being considered in the news so far. I want to throw a few out at you, and so now we enter into the realm of opinion. First of all, let me back up and say, if I didn't already say it, because it may have slipped my mind, that American citizens, I'm confident, are being taken care of through various operations that are going on to get them out. So that's that. So departing from that, now into the world of John Kerry's opinion, we are witnessing a geopolitical seismic event. While it is at least as embarrassing as our departure from Vietnam and the Saigon moment, if you will, the geopolitical implications are, I believe, far deeper and far more diabolical than those in Vietnam. So here's why I say that. China has a land bridge into Afghanistan. They share a border with Afghanistan. Rough terrain through there, but nevertheless, they have a land bridge into Afghanistan. They'll wink and nod and pay off the Taliban and allow them to do whatever the Taliban wants to do, while they come up against Iran, which shares a border with Afghanistan. Iran borders the Persian Gulf and commands the Straits of Hormuz. Sorry, that's my coffee maker freaking making all that noise. At any rate, so he who commands the Straits of Hormuz is going to control the flow in and out of there, or at least could. So there's that piece. The second piece is Iran also shares a border with Iraq. Iran already controls Iraq. They've infiltrated the government at every level. All the politicians that are in the Iraqi government are largely beholden to Iran already. So think about the implications of that. China, through Iran, with a wink, through Afghanistan, through Iran, with a wink and a nod, has access through Iraq into the Mediterranean, through Syria, through Turkey, through whatever route they decide to take. In addition, China is building, and I forget which little country it is, but in the Red Sea, is building a military base. And that military base will be capable of creating a lot of problems in the Red Sea. If they so chose, they would be able to control the Suez Canal. So if they control the Straits of Hormuz over the Persian Gulf, and then they are able to control the Red Sea, the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, those two strategic global choke points, China will have vast influence in that area of the world, if not complete control of that area of the world and all the oil reserves that go with it, which you can make all the electric cars in the world. We still need a tremendous amount of oil to make those vehicles, to make them run. So that's that. Now the other piece with the disaster in Afghanistan is that it is going to be, my prediction, personal prediction, is that it will be a humanitarian disaster. It already is a humanitarian disaster, but it will be a humanitarian disaster the likes of which we haven't seen probably since the ethnic cleansing in the Balkans. Now, for those of you who have not seen an event like that, I happened to be in Kosovo during a time when that was going on, and it's about as ugly as mankind gets. So there's no telling the number of bodies that are going to be produced from this event in Afghanistan, with the Taliban taking back over, and the track record that they have, and the things that we know they do. They are already offing people at the cyclic rate. So I really try to stay out of politics. I like to discuss philosophy, and I like to discuss geopolitical events and things, but this is one of those historical events that it lies at the current administration's feet. We had kicked the can down the road militarily, mostly politically, really for the past pretty much since we got there for the past 20 years or so. And sort of nobody wanted to get out and have it be on their watch. The only question as to the Saigon moment was not if, it was when, and how orderly was it going to be, or how disorderly was it going to be. And we see here, it's actually been going on for a few days, but we see today it's becoming very clear that it's exceedingly disorderly. Embarrassment on the world stage, okay, we can handle that, but the geopolitical implications, to my mind, as far as I can figure, are huge. And so we'll see where this goes. But you know, the Biden administration is going to attempt to lay blame, I'm sure, somehow on the previous administration. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm sure the corporate media will figure out a way. So we'll see how it plays out. But I just want to give a quick update to try to bring you a little bit of truth, and to let you know a little bit of what I think about the situation based on what I know. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hope all of you have a great day or a great evening, depending on where you are in the world. See you later. Bye.